Hey everyone, I'm Marco Gonzalez. Welcome to On the Couch Live. It is great to see you today. I hope you're having a great week. I am so excited to have my guests today, Branden James and James Clark. They are known as the musical duo Branden and James, and they are incredible. Branden's vocals mixed with James's cello and other instruments, superb. I can't wait to talk to them about everything they've been doing, their touring schedule during this pandemic. Branden wrote a book, so we have so much to talk about, and it's going to be very exciting. So if you've missed any of the On the Couch Live episodes, you can find me on YouTube, the On the Couch Live site there, as well as on your favorite podcast place, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music. You can find all of the shows on there as well. So if you go to YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe. I've had the best time doing these shows, and I hope you're enjoying them as well. Many of them are friends of mine that I've had over many, many years, and so it's so great to connect with them in this way and watch all of you join and ask questions and comments. You can, of course, do that throughout the live, and we'll see them down there, and we'll try to get to your questions or comments throughout. Okay, I see Branden and James. They have joined, so let me bring them in.
Hello there, Marco.
Hey, you guys, how are you?
Well, thanks. How you doing?
I'm good. Where are you coming live from?
Santa Fe in New Mexico.
Wow. Okay, how's the weather there right now?
It's stunning.
It's beautiful.
Can I show you what we're
Yeah,
looking at?
please.
That's our view right now.
Oh man, I want to go there right
And
now.
these big blue skies.
Looks so beautiful. Well, we're here in Los Angeles. You know, it is actually a beautiful day here as well. It's like crisp fall weather and the sun's out. We're loving it.
That's nice for a change, huh?
I know, because we had that crazy heat wave. So
Yeah.
And all
anyways,
the fires too.
yeah, I am so glad that we're connecting. I know you have a busy schedule, so I'm so glad you had time to join me. So for many of our followers that are watching right now, many of them may recognize Branden from his time on America's Got Talent. And this was back in 2013. Doesn't it just seem like yesterday, Branden, when you were on the stage in front of all those people, millions of people, and you were performing Nessun Dorma and just made all the jaws drop?
It does seem like it was recent, but every time people say 2013, I thought that's a long time ago.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, time really flies when you're doing things.
Exactly. And I remember you during that time, I remember the interview process that they show, you were having some major struggles. And at the time you had come out, you had said you were gay. And of course, your parents were struggling with that. Where does that stand now?
Everything's good now. We're really great friends. They buy birthday and Christmas gifts for James and just accepted him as another part of our family. And our relationship's wonderful now. They're coming up soon here. It's good. It's much better than it ever was. It took, 11 or 12 years really to get to a better place. And it really wasn't until after I wrote this book that we're going to talk about that we really understood each other. Once I got all that out there, then we were kind of really able to kind of mend our friendship, I guess I would say, more than anything else. We've always loved each other, of course, because they're my parents. How could I not? But yeah.
That is so great to hear. And I know you guys have been married now it's been 2 years. It's almost 3 years, right?
Yeah, it'll be 3 years in January.
Wow. Happy early anniversary. How's everything going with that? What is married life like for you? How are you feeling?
It's not that different to the way it was before. Because we were
pre-pandemic.
We were already living together anyway and making music together. So being married didn't change a lot to us, but it was important to us to kind of have that celebration with our friends and family and to kind of recognize that we mean quite a lot to one another and to share that with them. So I wouldn't say much has changed in our day-to-day lives, but we're glad that we were able to have that celebration with all of them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the pairing of you two, I mean, James, with your cello and Brandon's voice, it's just pure magic when you hear you guys together. How did you performing together come about?
Well, really was from being here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Well, James and I met on a dating app. We'll just call it that.
Okay.
Which it was, called Scruff. We're
All right.
just an open book, so I'm happy to say it. And in Los Angeles at the time, and he was doing his master's in cello performance, and I was kind of struggling for work. I had just moved back from Chicago and finished my contract at Lyric Opera, and was moving back to LA to kind of try my hand in commercial music and use my new 15 minutes of fame to try to do something. And I was really kind of struggling for work when I met James. And I hired him as a musical director for a concert I was doing in Palm Springs. And he put together a little band, and we played one song, I think Hallelujah, right? With the cello and the vocals and the piano, and people responded in such a
Positive way.
yeah, in such a way that we thought, hey, maybe we have something here. So I in the meantime had booked this gig here in Santa Fe as basically as a piano bar entertainer.
Okay.
And I went once by myself for about 6 weeks, and then I brought him the second time I came back here. And when you put a cello in a piano bar, people are like, well, what the heck is this?
They take notice for sure.
Yeah. Then they understood that we were really kind of unique and doing something different. And that's kind of where it all took off, huh?
Sure is.
Gosh. And then your performances, I mean, you've had to adapt with COVID happening. You're still performing, but how have you able to, get out to the fans during this tough time?
Well, we were just kind of just flying by the seat of our pants in the beginning, trying to figure out all the technology things and how to make good sound from our apartment in New York City.
Yeah.
We were there from middle of March until middle of July, playing virtual concerts. We took maybe a month off to do some marketing for our album that we released on July 31st of this year. But for the most part, we were just constantly making new content and playing concerts and things like that. And then middle of July came, and our shows were going to be, are they going to happen? Are they not going to happen? They were on again, off again, as things changed by the minute during the pandemic. But we ended up playing shows up and down the eastern seaboard. So in Provincetown, Ogunquit, and Rehoboth, and Delaware, and kind of went back and forth most of the later part of the summer until October 1st. And then we've been out here.
Came out here.
You've been out there. And you guys have traveled to like 50 countries over the years performing. I mean, and I'm telling you, people need to look up your music if they don't know it already on YouTube. I mean, just jaw-dropping. I mean, you did the song from The Greatest Showman, and I have to play just a clip of it because, I mean, that song gives me goosebumps every time I hear it, just so people can hear your voice. I'm going to go through it just a little bit here. Oh, man. I'm telling you, I think I've watched that a million times along with your version of Hallelujah. It's just, it brings tears to your eyes. I'm not kidding. It is incredible. Really.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So aside, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Please go ahead.
No, tell me, how was that filming that? Because you were in this beautiful setting through the video. Tell me about that.
I was just going to say, we kind of try to film our music videos wherever it's convenient, depending where we're at in the world. So the Hallelujah one we shot in LA when where we were living up in Silver Lake. But A Million Dreams we shot on location in Puerto Vallarta, which is where we got married. It's a really special place for us, and we spend a bit of time there every winter. So yeah, that's kind of just where we happened. The apartment we were staying at had a rooftop that overlooked kind of the city with the main cathedral there, and then of course the beach is right there too, and then there's the river. So we kind of utilized all of those spaces for A Million Dreams, which I wanted to call A Million Reasons, which is a Gaga song.
Those views are just incredible. So aside from music, also, Branden, you went into the author world and you released your book, Lyrics of My Life. And as you mentioned a little bit before during this interview, you are an open book. And I think that's why audiences and fans have embraced you. In this book, you talk about some of the struggles that you've endured throughout your life, including living with HIV. How was it? Was this a bit of therapy for you in writing this book?
Absolutely. And that was the other piece of the puzzle that I was trying to explain earlier about my parents and I mending our relationship really came after I wrote the book, because after I sat down for the better part of a year and a half and really rehashed all these stories and everything that I knew to be true in my head, I realized there were plenty of moments where I was wrong and where I was not accepting of my parents, and where I pushed back and was not always very kind to them.
Okay.
And I think that's something that I figured out, and it was very cathartic to write about all that and to realize that, you know, they were just, their lack of acceptance of my sexuality wasn't the only issue. I also needed to meet them and understand where they were coming from. And I was able to do that once I was able to gather my thoughts in such a long form, like writing 65,000 words, which I never expected to do. I never had any dreams of being a writer, or was really interested in writing. I had a good English teacher I think I was in 7th grade. Her name was Mrs. Freed, and she was kind of like she's like Judge Judy of English teaching, if you can imagine that.
Oh, gosh.
She would
That's
just,
how I would describe my English teacher too.
Really?
Yeah,
yeah,
she was hardcore.
make us read things out loud in class, and you just feel humiliated if you did something wrong. So
Right.
I feel like I kind of learned how to write from that experience, but didn't necessarily enjoy that process.
Right.
But it gave me some skills to write. So I started writing blogs, and then eventually got approached about writing a book, and that's how it all came about.
Wow. And James, how was it witnessing, Branden go through this? Because he had to bring up a lot of stories. Was it tough being by his side throughout this? I mean, did you just want to hold him a lot and just comfort him?
Or get away.
Or give him some space.
Or get away from me.
There was, it was kind of tricky actually. I think that watching him relive all of that put him in a dark place for a little while, and also that he celebrated a big birthday in the middle of it, and we had literally just recorded our album, which kind of was fun, but also a little bit. We were both a little nervous about that. We kind of invested a lot emotionally and financially into that album, and so all of these things were happening at the same time, and I think we probably both felt a little bit overwhelmed, and it wasn't that fun actually watching him write that book, because as he mentioned, he was reliving a lot of the pain and just kind of processing it all in a new way. And I did feel bad for him. I tried to be as supportive as I could, but it was
You were great.
it was good. The funniest thing about it is that we tried to go on this week. We finished recording in Belgium early, and he'd finished writing his book, and so we were meant to go and like chill out for a week in the Gran Canary Islands.
Oh.
And it was just going to be like sunny and beachy and relaxing, and it was none of the above. It was rainy and kind of shitty, and the Gran Canary Islands is like a shopping mall is really the main attraction there.
The particular place we were.
We were at. It was a very strange vacation. It wasn't quite the down, relaxed, chill, sunny thing that we needed. Anyway, it was a funny year.
Wow. Well, so at least you were able to kind of maybe have your nice vacation after the fact, but that's a bummer. Raining?
We've had plenty of other great times. It's kind of funny now that we look back on it, but
yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, the book, people are just receiving it very well. And aside from your book, your album, Chasing Dreams, tell me the motivation behind that, and what do some of the songs represent?
Those are two very good questions. The motivation behind it, let's see,
Branden wrote an essay on a plane one time that was called One More Push, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That we kind of had gotten to a place where we thought, should we keep pursuing this music thing, or like try something else, or what shall we do? And he kind of wrote down a bunch of ideas about, let's give ourselves one more go. We'll try to make an album, to kind of create the album of our dreams. The book was on the horizon. There was some, I forget what the other points in it were. Maybe some like venues that we really wanted to play. I tried to get a couple tours lined up, and to maybe get some management, I think. Was that?
Yeah, I wanted to have one piece of recorded material with a great orchestra and
something we could be really proud
fabulous classical crossover producer. Like, that's why I got out of opera and into this commercial world. So it was like a dream or a bucket list kind of thing that I really wanted a high quality album to record. So that's where the
impetus came from.
Yeah. So then we crowdfunded it, and we're very lucky to have a lot of supporters that supported our musical endeavors. And
we had a producer that we kind of handpicked as well. A friend of ours, Fernando Varela, had recorded a great album with him, and so we kind of reached out to him, but we never heard back. So we thought, oh, well, that's not going to happen. And then a few months later, we had a message or Branden had a message, I guess, in your Facebook spam folder, which a lot of people didn't even realize is a thing, and you always forget about it. It's not something you check very often anyway. And this producer, Patrick Hamilton, had said that our message to him had ended up there as well, which is why he'd never written back to us. But
are you serious? That happens when you forget to check your junk folder or your spam. You're like, oh my God, I needed that message.
Yeah. So we just assumed that, I mean, like he produces for a lot of important classical crossover people and has like multi-platinum albums on the chart. And we just thought, oh, he wasn't, interested in small peanuts. But a few months later, I found this message, and he'd written back and said, I'm so sorry. It ended up in my spam, and then I checked my spam. And it was one of those things on Facebook where we were kind of chasing each other, and we made it all happen. But the title of the album, Chasing Dreams, is really about us not being super young people pursuing a career in music. Not that we didn't have our own careers before we met, but by Hollywood standards, a later time in your life. Like I'm 42, I'm not a young person anymore. Trying to do this new musical venture was something, and also the first two songs on the album are called "A Million Dreams" and "Chasing Cars." So that's kind of where the "Chasing Dreams" thing comes from.
Oh, that's so great. And going back to the America's Got Talent times, do you still keep in contact with Heidi Klum or Howard Stern or any of those people, Howie Mandel, Mel B, who literally gave you a standing ovation after they heard your voice?
I don't keep in touch with them. A lot of the contestants, and it's contestants from other shows. It's very strange, but there's now a large network of peers of mine. We're on The Voice, American Idol, America's Got Talent, and we all play a lot of similar venues and end up playing in charity events together. Yeah. So we've all become friends and like bonded over the fact that we didn't win some reality TV show. It's strange, but it works. And I also keep in contact with the producers of America's Got Talent. Many of them became good friends, and when you go through experiences like that together, you're kind of bonded for life. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I don't want to ignore all the people joining. You have so many fans from around the world who are joining and sending those waves, those virtual waves. So yeah, they're excited to see you both. So I'm curious, for all those people who are thinking, aspiring singers, when did you first realize, Branden, that you had this talent of incredible vocals?
Well, it wasn't until my teacher told me, my choral teacher. I was 17 years old. Okay. I started singing my last 2 years of high school, but when I was 11 years old, I went to Dollywood in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, near Nashville.
Right.
My dad was doing some business out there. It's kind of a convention. He took the family, and they had these kind of karaoke booths that you could record songs in, like as if you were at Opryland. And I recorded "Wind Beneath My Wings," which to me was like I don't know how my mom and dad didn't realize I was gay from choosing that song, but I recorded it, and I remember listening to it. I had it on a cassette tape, and I was like, I can kind of sort of sing, but I was way too shy. I just started playing piano maybe the year before when I turned 9, and was taking formal piano lessons, and not very good at it, but knew I had some musical inclination. Just had zero confidence, and wouldn't share any of my musical gifts with the world. And then after that Dollywood experience, my parents bought me a karaoke machine, and I would kind of lock myself in my room and sing along to different cassette tapes that came with the karaoke machine. And but I really didn't start singing publicly at all until I was 17.
Wow. Okay. So see, people who are watching right now, they're like, yes, we can do it. Even at a younger age or an older age, they can still start that career. And recently it was National Coming Out Day. And I think your story also helped a lot of people who are struggling with their own identity. What do you have to say to those who are watching right now who are having a
Well, I think the coming out process is so personal, and no one should be forced to come out. Everyone should come out when they're ready, whenever that is, and understand that there's a whole network of people before them who have gone through the same thing or something very similar, who are all mostly willing to support and just want to help other of their fellow LGBTQ plus brethren, you know. It really is a community, I believe, that is supportive of one another. And I think a lot of people in the coming out process end up feeling alone and isolated, and forget to lean on others who would gladly help. So I always tell people who reach out to me to call me anytime, send me a message. I'd love to be an ear for anyone who's having a hard time, because I went through it and it wasn't easy, but better for it on the other side, for sure.
I think, yeah, the other part of that is saying that we've both discovered that kind of being authentic and being who we are, kind of finding out what it is, who it is that we are and what it is that we love, and being true to that has stood us both really well, and it made for a really rich life, I think.
Beautifully said. You guys are very interactive with your fans, and I think they appreciate that. Absolutely. So let's talk about your future show. You have a show on Friday, and it is the Lady Gaga Soundbook. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we have kind of been putting the show together for a little while now, and we were meant to kind of take it all over the place this year, but of course things have not panned out how we thought they might, which is fine. So really, we played it in Provincetown in August, and now we're gonna play it here in Santa Fe Friday and Saturday night, and it's a show that kind of looks back at the very vast catalog that is Lady Gaga's music, and includes stuff with her time with Tony Bennett and her time when she acknowledged Julie Andrews at the Oscars. Loads of fun stuff. She has such great music, and of course her stuff from A Star Is Born. So there's all sorts of fun things in there. We had a blast putting it together.
Yeah, and we both admire Lady Gaga because of her music and her performance artistry, but also her messaging. I think it's so on point, and she really looks out for people who are less fortunate than her, women, LGBTQ plus people, and we really just identified so much with what she believes in. It was just an honor to be able to recreate some of her songs and make them fit for us. Not that all of them fit, let me tell you. She's a pop singer for a reason, and you can't always turn that into classical music and make it work, but we did pretty good, I think.
We've done all right. Yeah, we've had a good time anyway, and the audiences seem to like it as well. Her music's so great.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it. I heard you singing Shallow online, and it was incredible. I know you're not set up for your music right now, because I was like, oh gosh, I wanted to hear something, but I know your studio's somewhere else. I know.
It's in New York, yeah.
And actually my cello is in the repair shop because it's so dry up here in Santa Fe that it accrued quite a significant crack in the lower.
There's like a 6-inch crack in his cello.
So,
you're kidding. How did that happen?
It's just so dry here. Something fell near it, and the shock of that kind of caused this split in the side of it. It's kind of crazy, but
so it's in the hospital right now, the cello.
Getting
oh, that's in the cello hospital, exactly. So we can't hear anything. Nothing. Not even like the chorus of Shallow.
I guess not. No, is the long and short.
There's a great YouTube clip of it.
It does sound pretty good on YouTube, huh? Someone told me a long time ago you leave them wanting more, you know. So we're gonna do that today.
Okay, I get it. Yes. And any collaborations before we go? I'm curious, who is your dream collaboration aside from Lady Gaga? Like, who would you love to record with?
Ooh, I think Sarah Bareilles. Oh, that was hard.
Oh, Sarah, Brave. Oh my gosh, that song is just everything, isn't it?
Do you know the song "Saying Honesty"?
Mm-hmm.
We love that song so much. She's just such a beautiful songwriter, and I love her harmonic language. The color she chooses in her music is gorgeous.
Yes, and her voice would sound beautiful with the cello too.
Yeah,
so Sarah, if you're listening,
we'd love to do something.
We're ready.
She'll be the ultimate collaboration. I love that. And for people who want to find her music, remind us and everybody where they can go.
They can find us anywhere at Branden J Music, BRANDENJ Music, or just look up Branden and James. Just remember I'm Branden with an E. at the end. And you can go to brandenjames.com, which is our website, and all of our music's on Spotify and Apple Music, iTunes, Pandora, all the things.
Yes, everywhere.
And you tell we're married, and we like finish.
We share one brain.
Yeah.
You share one brain. I still think it's funny. James, Branden James. Isn't that crazy?
It is.
It seems to confuse a lot of people, but yeah, it's a lot of James happening.
I know, a lot of James. Well, you guys, I appreciate you taking time. We were trying to get this together for quite some time, and I'm glad we finally made it work. So great to see you together, and I can't wait to hear what comes in the future for you both.
Thank you
so much. It was a pleasure. And stay safe and healthy out there in Los Angeles, huh?
You as well. All right, guys, have a great rest of the week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
All right, see ya. Man, they are talented. I'm telling you guys, go onto YouTube and type in any of the songs I mentioned, A Million Dreams, Hallelujah, or just go back to the old America's Got Talent clip of Branden singing. Just goosebumps all around. They are great guys and great talents. Thank you as always for joining me. I'm Marco Gonzalez, and I'll see you next time right here on the couch. Enjoy your day.